रहना तेरे दिल में is a gift that never stops giving.
It's true.
And I'm so lucky that I have that film as in my repertoire.
क्या memories है आपके? We all have our favorite moments.
I think when I think back, I was uncomfortable that Maddie's character was stalking me.
What is your method of saying yes to a script?
I want to see intentionality in the story. मुझे कहानी पढ़ के ऐसा लगना चाहिए कि एक तो कहानी बहुत अच्छी है, मुझे इससे बहुत कुछ मिला है और इससे कुछ फ़र्क पड़ेगा कहीं, किसी जगह, किसी के दिल में, किसी के ख्याल में, किसी के सोच में.
What is the kind of change that you're seeing in the scripts that you get nowadays?
Feminism is not necessarily male bashing. It's not about being loud, aggressive, abusive, alcoholic, an internalized female point of view
Right.
and context.
Do you have a genre that you don't want to ever do or you're not
I'm
comfortable
very
with?
uncomfortable with horror. I don't watch it and I just can't do it. Hi, I'm Mirza and you're watching me on Bollywood Hungama.
Welcome to Bollywood Hungama, dosto. My name is Urmin. I think she has had one of the most amazing, most beautiful film debut, and which is why हम इन्हें रीना मल्होत्रा के नाम से ज़्यादा जानते हैं. Please welcome Diya Mirza.
Hi.
I can literally feel the कैसे मैं कहूँ.
Oh, I thought it was yeah, it's so रहना तेरे दिल में is a gift that never stops giving.
It's true.
And I'm so lucky that I have that film as in my repertoire because so many generations have watched it and they all have their own reasons to love it. And whenever they meet me, they give me such unabashed, pure, like intense love. You really feel it, you know.
Correct.
Like this morning, I was at a radio interview, and this very young cameraman comes to me, must be 18, 19, and he says, "You're my teenage, my childhood crush," and I'm like, and you can feel that love. It's wonderful.
I think it was also very unadulterated, which is why it hit you with the right chords, if you know what I mean. Also, 19th October, we're going to complete 22 years of this film. Wow.
Yeah,
Can you
my
believe
God, I
22
didn't know
years?
that. It's been 22 years. In October.
In October, 19th October was when it released.
So it's so interesting. Some of my most important films have released in October. I don't know what it is with this month.
Something about October.
Yeah.
Diya Mirza has the October Fest.
My own October Fest. My very own October Fest.
But what an amazing journey it has been, Diya. From 2000 and
from an 18-year-old.
18-year-old. My God. When you look back at this journey, how does it feel?
It's been very rewarding, very humbling. I'm so grateful to so many aspects of it. I mean, the joys, the highs, the hardships, the pain, everything, because I've literally grown up in the industry. I came here when I was 18, as I said. I had no sense of identity. Of course, I had strong values and I knew what it is that made me happy and what made me very sad. And very early in my career, I realized, okay, these are the red flags. These are things that I just can't do. I don't enjoy at all. But I had to go through the motions of doing them to discover it. And then I think I was in my late 20s when I realized, oh, I can say no. And I discovered the immeasurable power of saying no to anything or anyone that didn't, fulfill my potential and didn't give me the opportunity to truly grow, and I didn't feel safe and respected with and being around or being a part of a film. And then there was no looking back after that. I think at 26, when I became a producer and I made my first film, I realized that I had the clarity and conviction to understand what it is that truly gave me agency and helped me pursue the full potential of my being. And my life is not for somebody else to control, and my choices especially are not for somebody else's to control.
You said that you started at an early age, and I'm sure that after winning the title of Miss Asia Pacific, which by the way we all watched on TV. So we're one of the audience who cheered for you, and we're so happy that you've reached this place. I'm sure it must have not been easy to say your first no. This is a very difficult word. I mean, it's easy to just think about it, but actually going ahead and having the courage of saying that no, because opportunities come your way, and we've all heard that they only knock once. वापस नहीं मिलेगा.
Of course, there are all kinds of pressures, especially when you start as young as I did. But I think what economic independence and economic stability does for you, and that's actually when I discovered I can say no. Because for the most part before that, I was struggling to pay bills. I had to, run my home, pay my bills, pay my EMIs, do what was necessary to be done in order to make that money. And then when I reached a point where I felt financially secure and I had enough conviction in my skills, and I knew that I would continue to hone my skills. So there's no stopping me from doing that. That I would be in the pursuit of growing as an artist my whole life,
right.
And that there's no time frame attached to that pursuit. That सब कहते थे 25-23 साल तक तो शेल्फ लाइफ होती है एक्ट्रेस की, उसके बाद फिर काम मिलना बंद हो जाता है. इफ़ यू आर लकी देन व्हेन यू आर इन योर 50s यू मे स्टार्ट गेटिंग older parts. So ironic, because younger women were playing much older parts. Right. I mean, if you think about some of the most phenomenal actresses who played mothers to Rakhi ji, Renuka Shahane. I mean, there's a very long list, right? Why Shefali?
Yeah.
Shefali Shah started her career playing a much older woman than she was. So it's very skewed, it's very strange. So I think what we all needed to do, I mean, at least for me, what I realized was I needed to identify what is it that truly gave me joy. And the day I became financially empowered and I knew that I didn't have to do any job for the money. Now that I would only do work that I wanted to do because I wanted to do it, life changed. That's when the no's became easy to say.
I really hope this inspires a lot of people watching us today.
Yeah, men and women.
This is where we all want to reach. We all want to be there where we call the shots.
This is actually for me what defines success.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Very profound. We want to talk about RHTDM since it has completed 22 years. How did you get this film? कैसे मिला ये आपको रोल?
ये मिला क्योंकि हमारे जो प्रोड्यूसर साहब हैं वो बना रहे थे बहुत सारी फिल्में. तो पहले मैं साइन हुई पूजा एंटरटेनमेंट से के लिए फॉर ओम जे जगदीश, जो इवेंचुअली मैंने की नहीं. अनुपम खेर जी की फिल्म थी विद अनिल कपूर, अभिषेक बच्चन एंड फरदीन खान. And I was cast opposite Abhishek. And while I was preparing for that film, मैं workshops कर रही थी फेरोज़ खान साहब के साथ, जो थिएटर डायरेक्टर हैं. और उस दौरान मुझे ऑफ़र आया दो और फिल्मों का बाशु जी के पास ही. One of them was रहना है तेरे दिल में. And then I was just simultaneously shooting 4 films. Literally months after I had moved to Bombay. It was crazy.
Would you also agree that this was the best start?
In Reena Hai Tere Dil mein? Absolutely. Absolutely.
क्या memories है आपके? We all have our favorite moments. Do you remember the last time you watched the film? When was it?
Actually, जब 20 साल complete हुए थे तब मैंने देखी थी, क्योंकि लोग उसको इतना प्यार करते हैं और प्यार देते हैं. I just wanted to revisit it. And it was very interesting. There was a lot of parts I was like fully cringing because it's like, oh my god, I'm so bad, I'm embarrassed. But I get why people love it so much. Yeah. I get why they connect with it. Ek to the music is phenomenal. And that really is the gift that never stops giving. Just KK's
I think
voice.
Bombay Jayashree gave
Bombay
you the
where
life.
Jayashree, KK, Menon, KK, the singer,
Kumar Rathod.
So many fantastic artists, and of course Haris Jairaj's music. Yeah. But I think when I think back, I was uncomfortable about a lot of things that I remained uncomfortable about even when I watched it 20 years later.
Like what?
I was uncomfortable that Maddie's character was stalking me. Although Reena acknowledges it. She gives it off to him.
Yeah.
You know, she has that moment where she tells him off. And what works, which is why people get past that notion that it's okay,
Yeah.
is the fact that Maddie's character at the end of the day has very strong values, is respectful, is kind,
Right.
wants to, he's well intentioned, most importantly. So that, I think, let it fly.
You know, I had this, my next question was that do you truly believe that the choice that Reena made was right? And
अरे अब क्या बोले. और मैं ये भी पूछती थी कि सैफ इतना अच्छा आदमी है, वो उसको छोड़ के क्यों चली जाएगी. क्योंकि मतलब एंड वो हम दिल दे चुके सनम में दिखा ना.
correct.
सो इट्स वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग कि एक ऐसी फिल्म आती है जो ये पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू दिखाती है आपको, एक दूसरी फिल्म आती है जो आपको ये पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू दिखाती है. तो अगर कभी सीक्वल बने तो it'll be very interesting to see where these people are now in life.
Do you have your theory?
I think it would be very interesting to explore how the very things that were celebrated about these characters are the very things that they are unlearning about themselves as life progresses.
Like Maddie not being able to eat non-veg. And,
वो
so
नहीं,
many
वो तो
things.
छोटी छोटी बात है. I'm talking about Maddie being aggressive, about
right.
him, asserting his love, and Saif being so gentle in his love that he's even willing to sacrifice it.
Diya, tell us, your filmography also mentions a 1999 Tamil film.
There was an item song in.
Oh.
I was a part. No, I didn't do the item song. Sorry, I'm correcting myself. I was a background dancer, or model in an item song that was with Prabhudeva's brother Raju, Sundaram, and Mink.
Wow.
Yeah, it was actually the first job that helped me make enough money to be able to go and shoot a professional portfolio for myself.
Which gradually went
Led
on to
everything else, yeah.
Yay. क्या बात है यार, क्या बात है. It's so interesting to see that, the choices that you've made, and I think this is also something that you've done in your career. Have you consciously made an effort कि मैं जो भी film लूँगी, the character needs to speak to me, because that's what we see.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is your method of saying yes to a script?
I want to see intentionality in the story. मुझे कहानी पढ़ के ऐसा लगना चाहिए कि एक तो कहानी बहुत अच्छी है, मुझे इससे बहुत कुछ मिला है और इससे कुछ फ़र्क पड़ेगा कहीं, किसी जगह, किसी के दिल में, किसी के ख्याल में, किसी के सोच में. और उसके साथ साथ अगर वो मतलब अच्छे लोगों के साथ हो तो then it's like even better. So those are the only films that I do. And the characters, of course, need to jump off the page for me. I need to resonate or be challenged or think about, oh my God, this is something I have to be a part of, because I'll get a life experience that life would not offer me, like the role in Dhak Dhak. I would have never imagined that at 40 I'd learn how to ride a bike, go travel from Delhi to Khardungla, be a part of a story that has women across different age groups, and tell a story about a character who is Muslim, raised in a protected neighborhood, and is a bike mechanic.
Was knowing how to learn a bike also something that excited you?
Oh yes,
for this film?
Of course. It was a lifetime dream.
Correct.
When I was a young child, my father owned 2 bullets, and he would ride with me, and I would sit behind him with the wind in my face and just dreaming, clutching him tight and dreaming of the day when I would ride my bike. And my whole life, I think 40 years of my life went by with me wanting to do it, but never getting down to do it, because I think I was limited or stopped by my fears of injury or fall or whatever. And when I finally got onto the bike, I overcame that fear in a fraction of seconds. It was like that. And I was riding within 18 minutes on my own. And Ritika, my coach, was sitting behind me, had left her hands, and she's like, "You're riding on your own." And I was like, it took me 40 years to realize this is about just that,
Yeah.
overcoming that fraction of a moment. But like they say, it's never too late to do anything in life.
Is there something right now in your life that you feel you could overcome it? Maybe you should have overcome it long ago.
No, I've been working very hard on myself last few years. I don't feel that so much anymore. But I do feel like there is intergenerational fears that women inherit that we need to become aware of. And to find, like मेरे लिए a life changing moment तब आया जब मुझे इस बात का एहसास हुआ कि ज़्यादातर जो मेरे life choices है वो fear से बन रही थी.
Coming back to what we spoke in the start. Right?
And I needed to find a way to stop making choices that were based or rooted in fear. And ये हमारी ना पुश्तानी होता है औरतों के लिए, हमको मतलब सदियों से ये गिफ्ट में मिलता आ रहा है.
Correct.
बचपन से किसी स्ट्रेंजर से बात मत करना, हर चीज़ में हमारे दिल में डर पैदा किया जाता है. So I'm learning now to just recognize that fear, and I do it very consciously with my kids. I don't want to make any choices connected to them that come from a place of fear.
Leah, tell us, what is the kind of change that you're seeing in the scripts that you get nowadays? Are you seeing a particular change and you'd like to tell us about?
I love the fact that more women have agency in stories.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that feminism is not necessarily male bashing. It's not about being loud, aggressive, abusive, alcoholic, and that kind of those tropes that we were tending to kind of veer towards. Because then again, you're kind of telling the story of women, but from the male gaze, and not really an internalized female point of view and context. I think it's so remarkable that men and women are writing such nuanced, layered, beautiful subjects. I particularly love the way Neeraj Kevan directs and writes. I love Zoya and Reema's writing. I love Anubhav Sinha's writing. I feel like these people are creating a shift that we really needed in the craft of storytelling and the way we tell stories.
You spoke about Zoya and Reema, and my God, Made in Heaven. Wow.
Even Alankrita.
Yes. I mean,
She directed my episode.
It definitely is something that's out of the box. You know, you want to watch it for so many reasons.
Oh my God.
That even we can't sit and count. What was it for you?
Layers and layers and layers and layers of
yeah.
And while you're entertained, while you're having a great time,
right,
while you're kind of sucked into the world and you like want to watch all episodes.
Yeah, and if I may
in
say
one
so,
night.
If I may say so, I mean, there was a time when there was art shown in such a way that you didn't understand because it's very deep.
Yeah.
But now I love the fact that you understood it. You've had your own version to it.
Yeah.
Like I had my own version to.
Yeah,
your
everybody is not
character.
trying to be Interstellar.
Correct.
कि मुझे समझ में ही नहीं आई.
And then दूसरे को बहुत अच्छी हाँ बड़ी interesting थी. So tell us, how was it on Made in Heaven for you?
It was lovely.
What a character.
मुझे बहुत अच्छा
God.
लगता है यार जोया और रीमा के साथ काम करना, उनके प्रोडक्शन के साथ. मैंने एक्चुअली बहुत साल पहले उनके साथ फिल्म की थी हनीमून ट्रैवल्स प्राइवेट लिमिटेड. इतनी मज़ेदार फिल्म थी, हमको इतना मज़ा आया था उस पर काम करने में. और फिर उसके बाद वी काइंड ऑफ रिमेन्ड इन टच.
Oh my God, I just remembered that character.
That character
सिपा इससे मैं ये आखिरी चीज मांगूंगी आपसे, इसके बाद मैं आपसे कुछ नहीं मांगूंगी.
You remember it? Such a funny film.
सीमा.
Oh my God. और उसमें सारे किरदार इतने interesting
हाँ.
थे. And we had so much fun because it's such a rich ensemble cast.
क्या बात.
तो ये दो औरतें हैं जो मतलब they've always been on the top of my favorites list. And over the years I feel like सवाल क्या था मैं भूल गई. आपको डायलॉग याद आ गया हनीमून ट्रैवल्स का और मैं सवाल भूल गया आपका.
Made in Heaven.
क्या?
में आपका जो किरदार
हाँ
था?
तो फिर जब अब तो मैं तो हमेशा बोलती हूँ तुम लोग जो भी बना रहे हो प्लीज मुझे उसका हिस्सा बना दो प्लीज. एंड देन व्हेन दे कॉल्ड मी फॉर दिस कैरेक्टर आई वाज लाइक यार ये तो बहुत मजा आएगा क्योंकि पॉलीगैमी एक ऐसा मुद्दा है जो जिस पर हम बहुत कम कहानियाँ बनाते हैं और इसको इतनी मतलब इतने सटली इतने जेंटली इतनी इंटरनलाइजेशन के साथ लिखा गया ना. और सबसे खूबसूरत बात यह कि बहुत कुछ शहनाज को बयान करने का मौका मिलता है बिना कुछ कहे. और जब उसे कहना होता है तो वो क्या कमाल की बात कर जाती है. बड़ा मजा आया वो लास्ट सीन करते हुए तो मुझे it's those moments that give you like full life force, you know. You feel it in your blood because you are contending with generations of misogyny and sexism and patriarchy, and it's so elevating as a woman to be able to say.
And most of the times these things happen in a situation when you can't speak for whatever reason, social obligations probably, या फिर family कहती है कि we don't speak about it and all of that, you know. I think
No, but Shehnaz always had a voice.
Yeah.
I think that's the beauty of it all, that she was a character who felt like maybe she was demure, subdued, but she's not. She chooses not to speak up when she does because she can't find the strength to stand up for herself because she's scared that she will lose her children. And that's a very real fear that a lot of women experience.
Yeah.
And actually one of the primary fears that allows women to make space for these very complicated situations in life where you're accommodating your partner to be with other people.
Correct. Tell us.
And I know some very privileged, very educated, very well informed women who do it as well. So it's not about limiting this narrative to one community or one status of people. Yeah. It's something that is happening across the board.
इतनी अमेजिंग बात है ना कि फिल्मों से कितना कुछ बयां कर सकते हैं. आई थिंक दैट्स द ब्यूटी ऑफ इट. Dear, tell us that did you see this gradual change of, you know, not being approached for leads, but you still did films? What made you say yes to them?
Because I wanted to be an actor.
But did you not have any kind of apprehensions कि अरे ये lead नहीं है, मतलब?
नहीं, बहुत जल्दी मुझे इस बात का एहसास हो गया था कि ये lead के चक्कर में मैं जल जाऊंगी. क्योंकि that's what burns your soul. That's what eats into your spirit. Because it's a game that is rewarding, yes, when things work. But it's too hard, and it's just it taxes every part of your being in ways that are just so inhuman, and it's so unnecessary. Why suffer? Why can't we just be and, you know, thrive and do what gives us joy? Why do we have to be in the pursuit of a number?
Yeah, why the competition?
Yeah, and I'm a kid who grew up with J. Krishnamurti as my philosopher guide, because his philosophy is what my school followed, and we didn't understand the concept of competition as children. We didn't believe that anybody needs to be cut down to size. We celebrated each other's uniqueness, and this only happens in India. It doesn't happen in any other part of the world. Yes, there are some actors who are like box office icons, and they have very, very big fan following across the world. But it does not change the way the industry treats other people who have fine craft, who are skilled. They're not treated with less respect, and I feel like that needs to change over here.
Yeah, I think it's
and I feel like it is changing. Like I feel like I've cultivated a space for myself without being the so-called lead, where I enjoy a lot of respect and love.
Which is what I said, you know, when we see you on screen, there's a sense of calmness that comes. That if you're in the film, I'm sure you've chosen the role, you know, thinking it through, and it's so important. Do you have a role in your career that you feel was the most challenging, or something that you'll always remember with? I think Tehzeeb if I'm not
Tehzeeb was
mistaken.
challenging, but I'll tell you what gave me most joy. Dhak Dhak. I would have never thought that this was even possible. So for me, at this point in my life, to be at the center stage of a narrative like this one,
Yeah.
and to have the character I get to play with the full range that it has, I would have said Kafir,
Yeah.
because it gave me the role of a lifetime. But I feel Dhak Dhak has elevated that experience even more. Like
Who
it's
did you
taken it
bond
another
with the
level.
most in this
I
film?
bonded with all of them, but I really found a very deep connection with Fatima. There's something very, very raw and unique and special about that girl. And I think she's going to be a part of my life forever.
We saw some
Ratna ji
of
and
them.
I, like, thappad wappad pe, we've hung out, we've had fun, we've, like, I really admire her. I've learned so much from her, and we've had some really fun conversations. She always talks about how when she was younger, she never got parts. How it was actually when she hit her late 40s, early 50s that she started to get work. And being married in a Sirsa, watching like big filmmakers having these, intense discussions about their stories and casting, and being completely ignored. Uh, I found so much of what she shared with us so compelling and so powerful, because it gave me so much strength. I felt like, oh my God, because everybody has their own journey.
Definitely.
And it's so fascinating how it eventually boils down to only one thing. Ki, what do you want?
Do you have a genre that you don't want to ever do, or you're not comfortable
I'm very
with?
uncomfortable with horror. I've got a few. In fact, just recently I read some scripts.
You can't
and-
fit in horror in any case.
No,
yeah.
but the way it's written, it makes sense why they would want me. But it just like I don't get it. Yeah, I don't watch it, and I just can't do it. नहीं होता मुझसे.
We're so happy to have seen you in all possible ways and forms, and celebrate you and your life. Diya, my final question to you is, if you could go back and give one piece of advice to your 20-year-old, what would that advice be?
I'm asked this question a lot these days, and I say the same thing each time. I would tell the 20-year-old self, be patient with yourself. Focus only on pursuing the full potential of your being, and be kinder to yourself. Embrace your fears. I think that's the most important thing.
I think
Yeah.
Dhak Dhak has definitely taught you to embrace your fears.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
So, Friday the 13th?
Yeah, imagine. And I
बाइक
just
से
told you I don't
गाड़ी
like
से
horror.
बाइक गाड़ी मेट्रो जो भी आप साधन लेना चाहते हैं we're all
Please
coming
ले
to
लीजिए.
watch your film.
Please do. क्योंकि
Yes.
ये बहुत हिम्मत लगती है ऐसी फिल्म बनाने के लिए. बहुत प्यारी है, बहुत दिलचस्प है. आपको खुशी होगी ये फिल्म देख के. प्लीज थिएटर में जाइए 13 अक्टूबर को और देखिए धक धक.
ये बहुत बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट था कि फिल्मों से खुशी मिलनी चाहिए, एंड दैट्स व्हाट दिस फिल्म इज गोइंग टू गिव अस. थैंक यू सो मच दिया. मुझे बहुत खुशी है दैट वी हैड दिस कन्वर्सेशन.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
being a
so
part.
much.
Thank you everyone for watching us on Bollywood Hungama.
Hi, I'm Mirza, and you're watching me on Bollywood Hungama.